let's talk about the Wizards. They are 6-16, and Adrian Wojnarowski has said that if Bradley Beal were to be available, there would be a massive trade market for the Wizards guard. So should the Wizards be open to trading Bradley Beal?
Yeah, of course they should be open. The Wizards are in no man's land right now. They need to fully be in or out, and they need to fully be out because they're not going to win anything with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal as their core. Now, with that being said, what should they look for in return? I think they should look for expiring contracts and first-round compensation, first-round picks. So who's going to provide that to them, and where would Beal be a good fit? And for me, my preferred destination is pair him up with hopefully this year's MVP Nikola Jokic in Denver. They would get in return Michael Porter, Gary Harris to match contracts, and future firsts, maybe 2 future firsts or a first in a pick swap because Michael Porter is a valuable player. Now, the Nuggets I think are one piece away from being real contenders in the West, and Bradley Beal is that piece. And the Wizards need to rebuild. They get a young player, some of the biggest potential in the league with Michael Porter, first round picks. They get a huge contract off their books in Bradley Beal, and they get an expiring contract in Gary Harris coming in. I think all sides are happy in that deal.
Yeah, Jake, I'm with you. I think the Wizards should trade Bradley Beal because, as you mentioned, they're in no man's land. Because it's better in the NBA to go 0-82 than 35-47. You're either all the way in or you're all the way out. And right now the Wizards are kind of in that 10 seed conversation. I know they're a little worse right now, but they're not as so bad that they get the number 1 pick. They haven't made the playoffs in years. So they need to move on, and it's nice that they found a great player in Beal that's very patient and loyal to that organization, but you're not going anywhere with him, so it's time to move on. And you said they should be looking for expiring contracts and picks. I think they should be looking for nice young players and picks. That's why I think the best team for Beal is the Pelicans. I look at a package with Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Jackson Hayes, a nice young big, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, another nice young guard, and 3 first-round picks. Now, if you're the Wizards, a lot of young players, a lot of picks, because you have to go into full rebuild mode. And if you're the Pelicans, you get a combination of Zion, Bradley Beal, and Brandon Ingram. That's a really, really nice young big 3. So I think the Pelicans make the most sense.
That is a very intriguing deal, actually. And my second destination for Bradley Beal, we've heard about it on the news. We've heard trade rumors all the time. It's going to be the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat have a lot of young pieces they can throw at the Wizards. I think the Wizards don't take a deal without Tyler Hero. He's the best of the sophomore players for the Heat. I think it's going to be a deal package on Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic to match contracts, and then it's going to be a lot of pick compensation. I'm talking three or 4 first-round picks. I think maybe 3 first-round picks, 2 pick swaps. Because as valuable as Tyler Hero is, an amazing shooter, him and Dragic are not going to be enough to bring Beal over. So he are going to have to be heavy on the pick compensation. And then you pair Beal up with Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. That's a huge big 3, and the Heat were in the title game last year. Adding a scorer like Bradley Beal, the leading scorer in the NBA, will not hurt their chances. It'll give them some instant offense, definitely get over the hump, and definitely get them through some rough patches in the game when they're struggling to score.
Yeah, that getting Beal, if you're the Heat, that would make you really scary. And if you're Washington, 3 first-round picks. I guess a competent young player with Tyler Hero. I guess that's probably the best thing I could say about him. So, that's fine. So I think that does make sense for both sides. Definitely makes sense for the Heat, I would say. Because the Heat, they're kind of in a slump right now. They need to break out of it. And they have kind of a championship window with Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, add Beal to that. And I think that makes them arguably the favorites in the East, are in that conversation to potentially go back to the finals.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a case where the Wizards need to go out. Meanwhile, the Heat needs to go all in. Their championship window is now. Butler's getting older, and right now he's towards the back years of his prime. Bradley Beal would be a nice addition.